Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I just thought I would do a chatty getting ready with me and talk to you guys about my trip that I just got back from. And then I'm going to do a liquid lipstick review, and I'm going to do the Dose of Colors, their baked browns, and then their Marvelous Mauves eyeshadow palette review. I'm in my pajamas and I have an bra on, so I kind of have a uniboob, so disregard that. All I've done this morning is brush my teeth and I wash my face. Typically, I would use this Jordan Samuel Plie cleanser. I really like this. This has replaced my nude cleansing jelly that I really like that is not available in the US anymore right now. They say it's coming back, but I haven't seen it yet. I love this stuff. This does have light fruit enzymes in there that will lightly exfoliate, nothing too aggressive, but I was on a flight for 24 and a half hours from Bali I went from Bali to Taiwan, Taipei, and then from Taipei I came to San Francisco, which that leg of the flight was 15 hours. In recycled air like that, my skin gets very dry. I call it kind of like the goatee of dryness for me because it happens right here. It happens on the corners of my nose and down here. So when I was just washing my face, I just decided to use just a thicker oil instead. I keep my skincare in the mornings besides my cleansers in this top drawer behind me, so I'm just going to reach and pull from there. This lotion P50 is a strong acid. The majority of this is lactic acid, which will help moisturize my skin a little more. But again, if you were like extraordinarily dry, I would skip on this and just stick to the really moisturizing products. As always, guys, I'm going to leave the name of the product down here that I'm using in case I get carried away talking, so you know, and they will always be linked below as well. So for those of you guys that don't know, Keegan and I went to Bali for 9 days. One of our friends from Arizona was getting married. She had a destination wedding, and so a group of like almost 40 of us all went out there, which was really nice. I had never been there. I was really excited to go. It was the first time in 5.5 years that I've detached from work. Even when I've gone places before, like when we even go up snowboarding or something, I'm constantly working on the go. I constantly have my phone, emails. So it was so nice and much needed for me just to detach. Because sometimes, and I mean, I think everybody has overwhelmed feelings. I have just been working so hard. I took over those new states for work back in November. And I went from 91 accounts to 283. So my workload had more than tripled. So I had just been really stressed out. So it was really nice. I had told everyone I was leaving, so I didn't feel the urge to keep working. And I just completely unplugged. That was nice. The flight was super long, but actually we left at 1:20 in the morning. It was Tuesday, but since I never went to sleep, I considered it kind of like Monday night, but it was really early in the morning on Tuesday. So basically when the flight took off, I literally fell asleep before takeoff, and I slept the whole first almost 8 hours of that flight, which was nice because then I could wake up and I watched a couple movies, like maybe 3 movies actually. And then we were in Taiwan. We had a layover for 4 hours there. So by the time we got through, some of the international airports are odd when you're traveling internationally. Like even though you land, if you have a connection, you still have to go through like another metal detector. So it's almost like you kind of had to go back through security. So there were like really long lines in there. And by the time we made it through, we got some food in the food court area. And then it was time to board our flight from Taipei to Bali, which was another 5.5 hours. Oh, and before I get like really into this, just so you guys know, the trip was much more affordable than I would have ever imagined. Like I always wanted to go to Bali. Fiji's on my list too. I would have thought that it would have been super expensive, especially because we had a friend get married in Hawaii that we went to. That trip was expensive. Flights out there, anything on the island is super expensive. So I was expecting it to be a ton per person. And we actually went on Expedia. Well, you can find tickets direct too, but we flew EVA Air, which is actually a really nice airline. I believe they're based out of Taipei. I believe they're a Taiwanese airline. Excellent service. Everybody has their own little TVs and plugs, so that was nice for such a long flight. But we got flight and hotel, which was a nice hotel. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I put it on some of my Insta stories, but I lost my phone, so I'll tell you that story in a little bit. So I don't have them anymore on my phone to show you. But the hotel was really nice. We had a giant bed, a glass wall between the shower and like the bedroom, just kind of like an invasion of privacy. But there was a little curtain that you could pull down. We got all of that for like after the taxes and everything. It was like $11.50 per person, and our hotel included breakfast every morning, which that's actually really great price. It costs us more than double that per person to go to Hawaii, which isn't that far from San Francisco. So when you think that those things are outside your reach, always look up, and especially with some of those packages, I would recommend always going and checking on a third party, like a neutral site, to check out airline reviews as well as hotels, and not just what's on the site, because you never know. But we looked into all that, and it was great. I was afraid that when we got there, it was going to be like some weird cardboard box we were staying in because the price was so affordable, but the island is super affordable. I tried to sleep a little bit to that second leg of the flight, but it didn't go over so well because I had already slept so much. And it's odd because they're 15 hours ahead of us, so like the next day. So basically you lost a whole day by traveling on the plane, and then it's a day ahead. It's just very odd. I have really bad jet lag now coming back. My body is like all screwed up, like just from even eating. My stomach is upset because I'm eating at all weird different times now. So I made it a point not to get an international plan while I was there. I just had WhatsApp. If my family needed to get a hold of me, Keegan had international service. And I was just using the Wi-Fi when I was in the hotel, or like almost everywhere you go there. Even these really tiny little restaurants on the side of the road have Wi-Fi. I think they're used to foreign travelers. So when we first landed, the airport is like surrounded. It's really like a really hectic city. Like, and in my mind, I was picturing it was going to be like super tropical and exotic. And I was like, whoa, there are so many people. I've come to find that's true for most locations, like even Hawaii. When you go there, in your mind, you might think it's going to be like really tropical vacation, and when you get there, it's like high rises all over the beach, and it's just become really commercialized and touristy. Getting a cab from the airport to our hotel, and everyone warned us that, you know, taxis there are crazy, the prices will fluctuate, to try to just hire a car, different things like that. So we get to the airport and they tell us it's going to be like 300 rupiah, which I'll put on the screen. That's only like 26 or something to drive us to our hotel, which was fairly far away from the airport, at least an hour. So I was thinking, that's a good deal. And then I found out from other friends that they paid only like 200 rupiah. One of my friends paid 550 because they got her good. So that stuff, you just have to be smart with that. And if you decline rides, I mean, they'll start to come down on things. But so 5 minutes away from our hotel, the guy was super nice that drove us there. But 5 minutes from our hotel, his car breaks down. Like, it won't start. And he's like trying to turn it over. He's like super apologetic. I'm like, this is not a good start to this trip. So we end up calling Uber, because they actually have Uber on the island. And come to find out later that that's like the Ubers that we used were kind of sketch, which is unusual for Uber in my experience anyway. So Uber comes and picks us up, and this guy, he was being sketchy. So we have our bags, we're standing on the side of the road now, super busy, we don't know where we are. It's like 100 degrees. I'm still in everything I wore on the airplane, so I have like compression socks on, looking real cute. I'm going to use my Natasha Denona Glow Foundation. This is shade 40 and this is shade 10. I mix in a little bit of 10 with the 40 because this is their lightest shade and it's neutral, and then this is their next lightest neutral shade, which I could probably use kind of like maybe a 30 that was neutral. You guys have asked me how I put this on, so I'm going to show you. I put one pump of this. It's kind of like that thick pudding. And then a very small amount of 10. This is my Zoeva flat foundation brush. I'm going to mix these two together on the back of my palette here. This is my paw palette. And then I just paint it on like this. So Uber comes and picks us up, and I can see, like, I'm using Keegan's phone and I'm looking at Google Maps, and it's like telling us how to get to the hotel. And this guy's bringing us on like this giant roundabout way. He's like, oh, it could take another 2 hours. Like, after he's driving around for a while, we're like, sir, like, why aren't you turning down this road? And he goes, oh, no, that's not a good road. Too much traffic. He's like, it's going to probably take me another 2 hours to get there. And we're looking at him like, So I told him, Keegan was like, no, that's not right. And I told him, I said, you do know how Uber works, right? Like, they've already billed my card, and it was literally, since the costs there are so cheap, it was literally like $2. I said, you know how this works, right? They've already billed my card, so it doesn't matter how much you drive around. It's not metered. And so as soon as I said that, because it's new there, as soon as I said that, he literally took a left-hand turn and got us to our hotel in like 2 minutes. I was like, okay, buddy. Besides that and one other Uber driver, everybody was super nice and honest and kind on that island. And again, that's just part of the hustle, I think, in touristy areas. By the time we got to our hotel, I think it was like 7. So we ended up ordering some food, and about 9 o'clock we went back to sleep, and then I woke up at 3:30. I've been getting up 3:30 here now too. Sorry if I'm like kind of cutting off the top of my head. You guys don't need to see my hair though. I really like this foundation. It's nice and natural and dewy. Again, the only way I like it is to paint it on and then go over with a beauty blender. If I try to pick it up directly with this, it gets kind of like really oily and it's a bit thick. If you have oily skin, avoid this like the plague. If you have dry skin, I think you'll love this. Mature skin, I think you would love this. Normal skin, if you like dewy foundations, you would love this as well. Okay, my memory card just told me it was full, and I just realized the volume on my microphone was down, so hopefully I can fix that in editing, but it should be better now. So my eyebrows are pretty much all healed now from the touch-up on the microblading I had. My skin just does not like, because my skin isn't really thick, because I do exfoliate and I do use Retin A products, my skin doesn't hold on to the pigment as much since it's constantly turning over. It kind of like pushes it out, which is nice for healing hyperpigmentation and things like that on my skin or blemishes. For permanent cosmetics, it kind of sucks. It's still significantly better than when I didn't have it and the gaps I had in there, but I do still need to fill them in. I think most people do. And I suck at that. Again, I work on production side, not makeup. I'm not a makeup artist. Some people are like, but you're not a makeup artist. I'm like, I'm also not a NASCAR driver, or like a marine biologist or a vet. I don't see those as bad things. It's just something I'm not, and that's okay. So I really like the full arch one on here because I do like my brows to be thicker, but I find the tail on this goes a little too far down. So actually what I do is I take the full arch one and I fill that in until this line, and then I take the high arch one. They all come in the same pack. There's a few of stencils in here, so you can pick which one you want. I need a new one of these brow pencils. So anyway, that was like an interesting, when we first arrived, I was like, this is a bad sign. So it pretty much almost fits my eyebrow. There's just some darker spots I like to deepen up there. It was a universal taupe, and now I'm going in with a little more taupe, and then I'll fix it later. So line it up with where I left off in that last one. And I'm going to go in and finish his tail. So we got to go around. I wanted to see all these temples. During the first couple days we were there, we stayed in Canggu, which was actually really nice. The area that we stayed in was kind of near this bar called Old Man's. And it was really nice because we were right on the beach there, and there were tons of shops and restaurants all up and down our street, but it was much more quiet. Like we went into Semiak, I believe is how you say it. And that place was crazy. I went there just for like an hour and a half, and I was like, okay, I want to leave. I'm just not part of that. It was kind of more of like a party scene, and I just really wanted to like relax and be calm, and there was just too many people there for me for that. If you're younger or older, or however old you are, and you like to go out and party and drink, you will probably really like that area. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of this dark brown Brow Wiz and just touch up on the tail. I know some of you don't like my darker eyebrows, and you want to tell me what you think of them, so I'll leave a toll-free number right down here that you guys can call and speak to me direct about your grievances on my personal appearance. Before I left, I did darken my roots too. Before we toned my hair, kind of went through and did all of that. I think I've been trying to transition maybe to a darker color, but every time I go dark, I end up wanting to go back blonde, and my stylist is like, no. She's like, I know you're going to change your mind again. She's like, and your hair is getting healthy again, because I've changed my color so much. I was going like neon red to black to blonde, back to brown, back to blonde. I always have done my, well, since I've been older and all these hair switches professionally, but still, your hair is only so strong. Nailed it. I'm just kidding. I suck at eyebrows. So we got to drive along. We hired a driver for 2 of the days, and he brought us all around to all the temples I had on my list. I mean, the deal is amazing. He would do it for $50 for the entire day, from like 10 in the morning until 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And he even came into some of the temples with us to like show us around for the ones that weren't really busy. He had upfront parking with everything. I will link his information below because I know I have some Australians that watch me. If you guys ever go there, his name is Sonny. He was so awesome. And actually, just like walking with him, a lot of people that would normally like pester you to buy stuff left us alone because I think he gave us some like Bali street cred. The people there were so amazingly friendly. It's just such a different way of life too. I mean, you can tell that they work really hard, but they also enjoy their life. How I feel in my everyday life, like, they seem very much more like laid back. They focus on their religion. That island is predominantly Hindu. Have 3 offerings every day. I just like it that it's not like, no, you can't go out and do this. You have to work. And again, those people do work very hard. So I'm going to show you guys, you've been asking me about my highlighting. I used to use lighter color to highlight with. This one is their Fair Neutral by the Tarte Shape Tape. This one is their Light Neutral, which is actually almost like a touch. You're going to be like, yeah, right, bitch, it's your color. But this oxidizes slightly. But I haven't been putting lighter concealer under here anymore or like highlighting the rest of my face. I think, that was a technique that came about in the drag community. And it was to give a more masculine face shape or a more like structured jaw face, the appearance of being more slender or higher cheekbones and all those things. And it's an amazing technique and it works beautifully on some people. And I did it for so many years. I've just kind of gotten away from that a little more. I still contour, but lightly. And for now, I'm just kind of over the highlighting and caking on the extra makeup. I feel like the least amount of face-based products I can use, the better it looks on my skin. It also adds some life back to me. I think when you're so fair, I think if you have more pigment in your skin, highlighting and contouring can work great. But when you're already kind of fair, when you're light and you add even lighter colors to yourself, it kind of can make you look sickly, like a vampire, or kind of washed out. And for me, that's not the aesthetic that I'm going for. I haven't been contouring that much lately either. I've just been using bronzer. So, which is uncommon for me. I'm going to be using the Tom Ford, this is their Terra bronzer. This is that newer formula that is like a jelly powder. Their other one is just regular powder. It's very smooth. This goes on very smooth, but I like to use a fluffier brush so I don't get like a really harsh line. So I do need to take this. I just take a spoolie and I just go over it like this. I mean, again, this is an expensive bronzer, so you might be like, nope, not doing that for it. But to me, it's worth it because I like how smooth it is. So this brush has been discontinued. They replaced it with a new one. This is the original wing Goss number 10. So I'm just going to go over my cheekbones with that. I like this bronzer because I'm light and it doesn't look too red, even though right now on camera, damn, that looks red. Does it look like that? Doesn't look like that in person. Once I put blush on, it'll all come together. Warm up my face a little. And are you guys impressed with me for my skincare people? That I'm pretty sure I came back the exact same color I left in. I put SPF. I use the Drunk Elephant and the Obagi Matte Sun Shield all over my face. Every time I went out, I had like a big floppy hat I wore out because I did not want any sun damage because I'm really prone to it right on my upper lip here, and I will get crazy sunspots here, which I still have some, and the freckles on my nose come out, which freckles are cute, but not when they're sun damaged, not for me anyway. Taking a little of the coconut bronzer, putting that on. I've totally got off track of what I was talking about last, but so if you guys ever go, I would recommend maybe staying like a day or two in the south area and then kind of like working your way around the island and staying in different hotels kind of along the way. And actually something called homestays there are super affordable. We met a bunch of really cool Australians, which the Australians like to party, are the ones I met anyway. Super nice people, but man, they can drink. And again, that's not all Australian people. It was so beautiful and so serene there. I'm so happy that we got to go and see it. I definitely want to go back sometime, and the things I know now I'll change later. Like, I wouldn't just stay in one hotel, because constantly coming back to that area, the traffic there is insane. I've never seen so many scooters in my life. I would never drive there because it would only be a matter of time before I would like pin someone between cars, I'm sure, because I don't think I can fit in such small spaces. Gonna go over my nose like I always do, just to get that. I don't like to put a whole lot of foundation on my nose because, I don't know, I find it wears off quickly for me. I'm going to go in with one of the new ABH blush trios. This is the one Peachy Love. I like orangish shades. Oranges and plums are pretty much my favorite. This kind of corally lip color. So I'm going to go in with this lighter peach shade. To try to use a fluffier brush like this so I don't overdo it on the blush, because we all know I can. I'm going to be reviewing these palettes today. I'm going to go in with my Dose of Colors Baked Browns. I don't know why I keep on, I think because the palette's kind of bronze color. These are extremely soft shadows. They do have a lot of fallout or like kick up when you dip into them, but to me it's worth it because I love these shadows. I'm going to take this middle shade right here first, and I'm just going to place that kind of a little above my crease. So anyway, when our friends rented out this like giant villa, which was amazing, this art villa that was just down the beach from us. It was so, so pretty. That's where she had like all of her wedding party and everybody staying. How did I already manage to get that like right in the corner of my eye? The ceremony was beautiful. At the wedding, I left my phone and my purse on the table. And when we left, I had to go in. I did a bunch of the girls' makeup for the wedding. And I left my whole makeup train case thing in one of the other girls' rooms. So I ran to go get it. And then Keegan came and we were leaving. And I was like, oh, I don't have my purse, and it was on the table. So he ran and got it and brought me my phone too, and I sat it down in the cab. Like, we got in a cab on the way home, and since they don't have like standard like medallions or anything like that, I didn't know who it was, but I believe I dropped it in the cab there, or I left it on the seat, so I lost my phone. That stinks, because the whole first like couple days of the trip I was taking all the video and stuff on my phone. So I hadn't made an insurance claim in, I don't know, like 3 years on my phone. So I did get a replacement on that. Now I'm just waiting for my case to come. And now I'm going to pick up some of this warmer reddish toned brown. Nothing on this brush. I'm just going to kind of try to blend this in a little more. The food was amazing. Basically, Keegan and I could get, like, we would get these yummy breakfast bowls. The fruit was so good for like $15 US cost altogether. It was great. The service was great. I can't say enough good things about it. It is very humid. My skin loved it, especially on that flight. My hair was crazy. It was just like there was no saving it. So I just committed to having my hair up. And everywhere we went anyway, like, I try not to be like too obsessive about not exposing myself to the sun. When we went on the beach, I either had like my my rash guard, like my surf shirt, if you don't know what that is, like a surf shirt on, that kept the sun off of my chest anyway. High SPF on my face, and I wear floppy hats. It actually helps keep you cool too, because it shades your head. I like those kind of like wicker or straw feeling ones, because it still lets your head breathe. But that's how I keep the sun. And normally this is the area I would always like miss with sunscreen, because I didn't push it up into my hair and it would start to get really burnt. I will do a video on how I pack all my skincare, because I know a bunch of you guys have asked me. Sorry if I'm still like all over the place. Again, not like I'm ever super high energy, but the jet lag I have is pretty intense. I'm going in with the lightest color in this palette and just highlighting my brow bone. I want like a little touch of a darker color on this outside. Ooh, see this brush in here, it gets powdery. I'm gonna pick up the brush that it comes with and dip it in the darkest color. And then I'm just gonna go on the outside. Right here, just do like a little V, and then I'll blend that in. They're so soft. And you can see I don't really have fallout. I don't have any fallout on my face. But if you look at this palette, you'll see that there's like dust all over. If that bothers you, you won't like these, but I think it's well worth it because the shadows are just so nice. And I did have the ice cream palette. I bought that when it first came out, and I didn't care for that. I know a lot of people loved it. I felt like it was really dry, and a lot of the colors, the mattes, lacked pigmentation for me. I don't know if I just got a dud, and you guys know I love Dose of Colors. Their liquid lipsticks are my favorite. These eyeshadows are up there. These are talc-free too, and they are the butteriest, creamiest talc-free shadows I've ever used. A lot of time talc-free shadows kind of have more of a dry feeling to them. I'm going to try to get more consistent with my uploads. I mean, obviously, I don't ever want my work to suffer. And I definitely still want time to myself as well, but there's so many things I want to film. Like, I still have all the stuff to do the bomb challenge. Like, I have to do that. For me, I try to get the videos out that are like more time sensitive, or the ones that people are requesting all the time. Like if it's a launch coming up and I had access to the product first, I want to try to tell you what I think. But I have the affordable skincare, toners, sunscreen video, like a million things I want to do. So now I'm going to take this larger brush with the lighter color in this palette, and I'm going to pack that on my lid and kind of stop where that darker color came. For me, this is a palette that I can use like every single day. You know, just maybe stay away from some of these darker colors if it's for work, just because I normally don't wear darker colors on my eyes like that for work. We got to go to the Sacred Monkey Forest, which was so cool. A lot of people said that the monkeys are really aggressive, but since people told us going in, like I took off my necklace, I kept my phone in my back pocket, and I only took it out to take a couple pictures, but I made sure my ringer was off, and you're not supposed to make eye contact with them because they sense that as aggression, and they can attack. So, you know, just kind of look at them, and if they were looking me in the eyes, I'd kind of turn away. It was kind of funny that I was like acting like I'm afraid of a monkey. They did steal some guy's cell phone and run up the tree. I've heard they take people's wallets and things, so don't, if you ever go, don't wear anything flashy and just be respectful of their space. I'm going to curl my lashes. Ubud was the day that we did that. That was one of my favorite days because we did the whole the rice terraces, which was beautiful. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. We hiked all the way down and all the way to the top of like the tippity top of the other area, and then all the way back down and all the way back up to get out again. My legs were so sore after that day because we also did a ton of temples, and it was just a lot of stairs, and the next day my legs felt like jello. It was so worth it though. It was so pretty. I'm just tightlining my eyes right now. This is the only way I can tightline with this brush. This is a Japanese silicone tipped brush just because I don't feel like I'm poking myself in the eye. I'm actually going to take some of this color right here. I haven't used this one yet. Well, not on the other side, look. Just go right along here. I definitely say if you go, you need to hire a driver for one of the days. And again, it's really affordable. You can go with as many people that fit in the car. So like up to 4, I think you can have. Or they have like bigger buses and now I'm just going to take a little bit of the darker brown. Try to get that close to the lash line as possible, like towards my waterline. Now I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona. These are the Duo Glows. And I'm going to pick that up on my Wayne Goss number 15 brush. This is like a peachy gold. They call this a highlighter, but I actually just like to put it right on the tops of where my blush is. And it adds like a nice little golden sheen. Without being like too white or anything like that. I don't even know where the story was going because I'm all over the place. But it was a beautiful country. I would love to go back. We took a fast boat over to Lombok Island, which was next to Bali, and then we took the fast boat over to the Gili Islands, which are 3 of them. We went to the Gili and the one that started with the T. I'll put the name down here because can't remember how to pronounce it. It was really beautiful. You would definitely need more, I think, than a day. We only did the day there because the way that we saw the temples and everything else, our flight was the next day. So we left at, the driver picked us up at 6:30 at our hotel. We were on the boat at like 9 because it was like a 2-hour drive from our hotel to where the boat left. And then it was an 1.5-hour boat ride from the dock to the island. And it was gorgeous, like crystal clear blue waters. If you guys saw that picture of me on that like swing going out towards the coral, it's called the Sunset Swing, and it's so pretty. I'm going to wear some of our Ardell Wispies. These are our duo packs that we have here. These need to be cut just slightly for me. Otherwise, they're a bit too long. The shopping was amazing. I bought like 3 or 4 really cute sundresses there, and they were super affordable. I think the most expensive one I got, which was one that was at a really nice boutique, I think was like $80. But the rest of them, I got some for like $20, some for like $30. The thing that's so crazy is I heard like the average like worker there makes, I think they said like between 50,000 and 100,000 rupiah a day, which is between $3 and like $7.48 or something USD, which that is nuts. So anything that you tip there, really, people are kind of like shocked. Like I had no idea. The guy carried our bags all the way in the sweltering, so I was giving him like 100,000 rupiah, because to me I'm like, that's well worth $7. I didn't have to carry that. And they were like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And then when I found out why, one of our surf instructors told us that he only makes 100,000 a day. I was like, that's crazy. And they also explained that they think every traveler that goes to their island, it must be rich, because for them, they can't really travel. A lot of the people there that are, you know, the day workers and stuff there, they can't travel internationally because of what they make on the island. It's livable, but to leave, it's like they're not going to be able to buy a plane ticket or even travel in a foreign country. Like you can't go to London or something with how expensive it is there, only making the equivalent of, you know, $7 US a day, which is sad. But also they seem to have a way better quality of life when it comes to, you know, focusing on the important things. I'm going to take a little bit of that light color and just highlight on the inside corner. And again, that's not everybody. That was just like a lot of the workers that we were talking to there. Let these puppies dry real quick. I got this. I don't think I like this. I don't think it does anything. The mist is really fine, which is nice for a facial mist. This is the new Glam Glow Glow Setter. I mean, when it says glow, again, I do use oils underneath my makeup, and my skincare is kind of dewy anyway, so maybe I just don't notice it. But for the cost, it has like a light, kind of like vanilla smell, I think. I don't know. I used to like Glam Glow products. I'm just not a fan anymore. I feel like I've kind of outgrown them for the ingredients and the amount that you get for the cost. It's just not really worth it to me. But I had heard so many people raving about this, I thought I'd give it a go. So let's see if it helps bring out my highlight anymore. You need like 5,000 sprays of this directly close to your face to feel anything, because the mist is so fine. I certainly don't feel like that makes your makeup last any longer. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and just kind of like fluff up my hair a little bit. Finish talking to you guys. I'm going to be doing a liquid lipstick review, so I'm going to apply that after this. When I got my hair done, we cut about 3 inches off. If I have a picture still, which I probably don't because my phone is gone. But I cut off a lot of the dead ends, and right now it's just kind of crazy doing its own thing. I'm just gonna mist it with a little water. Anyway, I would love to go back and do it again. I really want to go to Australia. There's so much more traveling I want to do, and I always tell myself like, oh, I'm too busy, or I'm scared to take the time off of work. And I get scared because right now I have like 300 emails, like 350 emails, and I worked all day on Friday, you know, trying to get back with customers and go through a lot of them. So it does get scary, but something that's important is that we take time to take care of ourselves, because you know, you only have one life and you can only work so much. It's important that you remember why you're working so hard and take some time to enjoy things. So I'm going to make it a point to make sure that I always take some time for myself and I disconnect, because otherwise I'm going to burn myself out at a young age. I'm gonna take a little bit of, this is Diva Curl. You can actually just take like a spray bottle like this and mix a little bit of your conditioner with your water, and it's the same exact thing. This is their Mr. Right. My hair is just really, like right now it's again being crazy, but my hair is just really fine. So I've worn extensions for a really long time, almost 13 years, I think. So it's weird to see me with like just my regular fine hair coming down. It's all I can do not to put my extensions back in, but I know eventually I'll have to go through this period. The hair that I had kind of like down here was all really bad damage from when I was wearing Great Lengths extensions, which are glue-in ones. I wore those for probably 2 years and they really just like thrashed my hair. So I wasn't a fan. I wouldn't recommend any kind of like a glue in your hair if you can avoid it. I'm going to go through kind of like an odd phase where I want to grow this out a little longer, because right now being this short with the wave, it's kind of like a little too 80s for me. I'd like my hair to be probably like down to here or a little longer for me to wear it like that and be comfortable. Okay, so I just started a liquid lipstick review. I just filmed that intro and that application. So that finishes this look, guys. Sorry if I was like all over the place. I started talking about things and the products I was using and blah, 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 blah. My brain is running on like kind of catch up today. This is a new indie brand I'm testing out called Tori Lala. That's local here up in the Bay. If you guys want to see how this wears, please check back on that video. It should be up. Actually, it'll probably be up before my get ready. So either one, before or after this video. Thanks so much for sitting down and listening to me blabber. I will see you guys next time. Bye.